Good morning and welcome to Think About Thursday. We are back, and so here we are. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hi there, J-Boy. Good morning. Where are you listening in from and what are you thankful for? Where are you listening in from and what are you thankful for? What are you thankful for today? Welcome to Vibe Talk. This is Think About Thursday. And we think a lot around here, especially Thursdays, do we? Just introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm Trish, the co-host and manager of Vibe Talk.
Okay. Mississippi. Welcome. And you're thankful for your mom trying her best. I like that. Thank you for sharing that. We're going to be talking about our question of the days. Question of the day. Trish, you had a really question of the day. What are we asking people? Yesterday, you chose one. What was yours?
My question was, where do you find peace and what makes that place so peaceful?
Yeah, I thought that was really good. So let's start by asking, J-Boy, where do you find peace when you're looking for peace? Where do you usually go? For me, I go to the beach. And that's where I find calmness because I can watch the waves. That is my special place. I have another place too. What does J-Boy say?
He says, I'll go for a walk or listen to music.
Yay. I did that last night. And I'm going to tell you, it really calms us down. I know my music calms me down. I like a variety of music. And so we're asking that questions. We're taking your phone calls. So if you feel like you want to share something, you can hit that phone button and we'll take your call. We're going to be here for it a little while. Vibe Talk can be found on Facebook at vibe-talk. Thank you, Trish. And our direct connect. You're always able to connect with us even when we're not in live or on live. That direct phone number for direct connection is 661-503-8993. It is a Vibe Talk line or helpline. You may also voicemail and text as well. We'd love for you to leave us a voicemail if we're not live. Whatever you have that you want to inspire us, if you want to give an inspiration, special dedication, or just say hello and love. We're on YouTube. YouTube is all capital Vibe-Talk. So what is today? Think About Thursday. What is there to think about? We want to find out what's on the minds of people. What is on the minds of people? People think By daydream, people think in their dreams, and people think out loud. How many of you have ever thought out loud? Anybody in this room?
I have.
Yeah. Did you catch yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah? And what happened?
I said, why did I say that out loud? Oh, I thought I was thinking that in my head.
Yeah, yeah. We have to catch ourselves, right? Yeah. And so I found myself doing that too. We want to let you guys know that Vibe Talk is always coming up with a question of the day, but we are going to take the 2 questions today, and that's going to be our whole discussion. The other question was, what are you healing from? What are you healing from? Or what do you think you need to heal from? We're looking to inspire and motivate while keeping Vibe Talk positive. Today is Thursday, and here we think about what happens on Thursday. So we want to leave you with something to think about. When we're not live, we usually put up a video, and I gave you guys something to think about childhood. What happens when children are left unspoken. We had a group there. We did that some months back. Anybody get a chance to listen to it? If you did not, go back and listen to it. We encourage you to, if at all possible, because it really stirred up something. You know, I'm in here and we do a lot of talking, but when you go back and you listen, because I have to play back a lot of the recordings, and wow, thinking about an inner child. It was amazing to look back at that podcast and find out how much I've grown. And when we're not here, we're going to give you video playbacks. There's always something when we're not here. So I couldn't be here. And then my co-host, Trish, was not able to be here. And so that's the way it was. But we're here now. And we're going to be asking the 2 questions. Trisha's going to be asking her question, which I thought was a really great question. Where do you go to find peace? We're going to start up this conversation, and we hope that the phone calls in here today are going to be one that impact us as we try with Vibe Talk to help you help yourself. Any exciting news, Trish?
No, not really.
Well, no news is good news, so they say. I want to read a poem. We had to switch devices, but I think I want to read. In fact, I know that I want to read a poem. Yeah. Hold on just 1 minute. Hold on. I like to read poems about thinking. Good morning and welcome. Trish, you want to introduce Goddess? Good morning.
Good morning, guys. What state are you listening in from, and what are you thankful for, and why?
What are you thankful for and why? And we're going to, you're in Vibe Talk. We're going to ask you questions of the day. The question of the day is, where do you go to find peace? Everybody needs peace. Florida, she says, or they say, I'm thankful for courage because without it, I wouldn't be here today. What is the question of the day, Trish? My manager, and I find peace in the woods. We had someone here that used to say that. Go ahead, Trish. What's your question of the day?
The second part of that question is, what makes that place so peaceful?
Yeah.
And the second question is, what are you healing from?
Yeah. So we're going to take the first question. You can call in or you can write it. What are you healing from? Or what do you need to heal from? That was our second question this week. And we usually put those questions out so that the Vibe Talk viewers can have something to think about. And I thought it would be good to bring those back. Is there something that you need to heal from? Self-destructive behaviors. Are you in the process of working on that? And do you need support for that? Because if you need support, this is the place to be, and we will find you resources. You are working on that. May I ask you, since we're talking about healing, and you're so brave to talk about it, if you would, how are you going about the process? Because see, you're going to help someone help themselves or someone else by your story. Our stories can create great impact. So what is your process for working on self-destructive behaviors? How are you being helped with that, if I may ask? And if you're not comfortable answering that, that's okay too. We're getting into some real discussions. You're working on the self-destructive behaviors. We appreciate that. Because you could have said, I'm not working on those behaviors. I have them, but you're processing in your mind. And we appreciate that. What do you think, Trish? Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Ray. I think that you're very strong because it takes a lot for people to say, I'm working on that.
Yeah. Because you could not be. Thank you for that, Trish. We inspire around here and encourage. So You say you're being honest with yourself. That's excellent. And allowing others to fall off. In other words, you're being focused on yourself. That's good. That's excellent. Excellent. And so now you're focusing on yourself. Sometimes when we focus on ourselves, and that's not in a selfish way, that's in a way of self-caring, because you can't care about other people unless you care about yourself. Let me ask you, do you have any children? Do you have any children? And I'm going to tell you why I'm asking that question, because when we have children, we're focused on them. How did you know my name? Trish, did I say my name? You've been here before. Okay. I have a hunch, yes, that we know each other quite well. Welcome back. So now, if you have children, you're focused on them, and children, whether they be young or older, they take a lot out of us. And so right now with the self-destructive behaviors, I ask that you give yourself 100%. Even if you're going to pick out a day, one day. And that doesn't mean that you're gonna fall off the other days. You're just going to take that one day and say, you know what, I'm going to focus. And I tell a lot of clients this, because if you're like me, I used to feel guilty. And I felt guilty because if I put me first, that was being selfish. But I'm asking you to take a day to think about your self-caring. Whatever that be. Whatever that be. We're glad you're back. And we want you to be able to stay on your healing journey. Vibe Talk is all about that. Yeah? You say you haven't stopped self-caring, just became more grounded. Yeah, you gotta think about. You know what the nice thing is? Is that we are all on level ground. When I think about grounded, Trish, what do you think about when you think about grounding?
I think about staying on a steady and very stable level of yourself. That's what I think.
Yeah.
It's like a statement, I know where I'm at and I'm gonna stay there and I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. You ever had a ground that was shaking underneath your feet? If you've ever been in an earthquake, California is known for a lot of earthquakes. Now we're having earthquakes everywhere. But now, that feels pretty unassured when that ground underneath your feet are not solid. How many of us have felt like that? That the ground underneath us got in the way of our wanting to be healed. Sometimes the saying is what? You're on shaky ground. How many of us have ever been on shaky ground? Anybody in here?
I have.
Yeah, what did that feel like to you, Trish?
It felt confusing because I knew what I wanted, but it felt like I couldn't get what I wanted because I was still stuck between being grounded and the bottom.
Stuck in a hard place, a rock in a hard place, right? Ray says balance before you fall too deep or you fly too high. Being balanced. Sometimes our world is shakeable. It shakes its core right from under us. If you've ever been there, you're not alone. Where everything starts to crumble. How many of you have been there before? Yeah. Yeah. And you remember to do the feelings with the hands. Let's not forget that, ladies and gentlemen, because the feelings with the hands show the intensity. Sometimes, even though we may feel our world is crumbling, when we're on our healing journey, we will see leveled ground. All of us here today, and I want to emphasize this, we're on level ground right with you. When our world comes tumbling down, we do what? You ever saw a person that falls? How many of you have ever saw someone fall? Maybe you have done it yourself. Anybody in this room, you ever see somebody fall?
I have.
Sometimes we laugh when they fall, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we've laughed. But now, there's something that person always does after the fall. What is it that they always do after they fall?
They get up.
Yeah! So I say to you, get up. Stand up. And if you've been here before, I want to tell you something. You found your balance because you found Vibe Talk again. There's no coincidence that you found that. You know what keeps you on level ground. Because a lot of people come and they leave. The people that are standing on level ground, they're going to have their ups and downs. That's part of the process of your healing. And that's why I wanted to bring the question of the day back, because I thought the healing one was such a good question. And then Trish turned around and used hers yesterday and said about the peace. Healing is peace. Pull up your chair. We're going to invite you to stay for this podcast. Can you hear me? Healing is peace. When you learn the fact that you need to heal, you're going to experience immeasurable peace. Immeasurable peace. That's true. What is God is saying, Trish?
She says, but healing isn't always peaceful, and that's okay. Healing is chaotic sometimes, and that's true.
Yeah, that's very true. The healing that I'm talking about is the inward calmness. Everything on the outside can be on shaky ground, just like that earthquake that you feel. But inside, you're going to feel immeasurably peaceful, because why? You know that you're doing the right thing. Healing is a process. Now, when I asked that question, I thought about it as I put it out for the world to see. How many people are going to be brave enough to talk about their healing process? And I'm going to tell you something. You are brave because you're doing that, no matter what it looks like. And you're absolutely right that healing can be chaotic. It can feel like your world is coming apart. Go ahead, Trish.
I completely agree with that, because as of now, I'm still healing from some things. And someone asked me, last week, are you fully healed from everything? And I had to think about that. I was like, I'm healed from most things, but not everything. And I told them, because mine developed from years ago, and it's just, it takes longer to heal the process. Like the book we were going over, Feeling Buried Alive, it was talking about how sometimes it takes longer because of trauma and things. So the question about where are you healing from, it hit me. I was like, oh, that's a great question.
Yeah. Because we need to talk about that. That's the thing that makes our world feel chaotic. Because why? What grips us? Fear. How many of you know that fear cripples us in the midst of our healing? If you don't know what healing looks like, you fear it because you've never had it, right? Yeah, fear. And on those days that you're not feeling okay, guess what? You've made it through the day. Most people don't even come in and say, well, I need to heal. I need to stop self-destruction. That's powerful. That's powerful. Just before you came, what did I say, Trish, about hoping for today? That someone would be impacted. And here you come. Sometimes our chaotic shakeability means that we're not able to stand up. So what do? We crawl. We crawl. If a person were to be in an earthquake and needed to get to safety, we see them crawl. And if you or anyone that's going to listen to this today, if you're at that stage, know that that crawl is going to turn into you standing up, getting up, and walking. How many of us have had to crawl here today? Me?
I did.
I had to crawl here. And we're not talking about in a physical sense, emotionally, mentally. But if you're crawling and you're not just laying there, That's progress. I want you to hear me, Goddess, and I want you to hear me, Trish. That's progress. I'm proud of you because I don't know what it took for you to come back here. I don't know what it took, but we are glad you're here. Sometimes healing looks angry. How many of you have ever been angry because you're trying to heal and you're so frustrated because you feel like you are Tommy the Turtle? Taking too long. So you become angry with yourself.
I have.
Yeah, me too. Frustrated. Healing takes time. Healing takes time. It's not overnight. You wake up one day, Ray says, been there plenty of times. So you know what that looks like. I think Goddess said that healing looked chaotic. Is that the right word that I'm using? Goddess, stop me now. If you've been here before, then you know exactly. Yeah. I don't know if you had to crawl or walk, but you got here. That is progress. Kodama, good morning and welcome. Trish, do you want to ask them a question?
Good morning, Kodama. What state are you listening in from, and what are you thankful for, and why?
Yeah. We're talking about healing. Think about Thursday is always something to think about. We're so glad that you all could join us. In the Philippines. What time is it there? I always like to know that. We are encouraging everyone who can to stay. This is going to be a powerful podcast today. We're making up for the last 2 days we have not been here live. What time is it in the Philippines? Our question of the day is, what do you need to heal from? Almost 9 at night. What do you need to heal from? And we're going to open up this discussion so that we have a very deep discussion. Maybe you guys are not healing from any emotional or mental pain, but maybe you're healing from physical pain. Got a headache? Backache? Your leg hurt? Your arm hurt? Think about that pain. Ray says betrayal and past memories. So Kodama says, I would love to heal from being forced learning English to fit in. So you're learning English as a second language? Very nice. It can be hard. I'm still struggling with it. LOL, I'm still struggling. And that's my native language. I'd like to say congratulations. Congratulations is in order. Keep learning it. Keep learning it. I wish I had a different language. Anybody in here speak a different language? Literally. Literally. You speak a different language. I only know English. Struggling with that at times.
I know a little Spanish. I remember some from Spanish when I took Spanish in high school, but that's it. I don't know anything else.
God, I speak real talk, different language. Love it. I think I'm there with you. So now, getting back to your process, because I think they opened it up well for us. Chaotic. Anger. Anger, it was anger for me. Goddess said it is chaotic. What I like is when you're not giving up on yourself. When you're not giving up on yourself. What do you want to say, Trish? To Chef Boyardee, good morning.
Good morning, Chef Boyardee. What state are you listening from, and what are you thankful for, and why?
Yeah. Our question of the day. You're from California. I am from Southern California. And our question of the day is, what is it that you need to heal from? Or what is it that you have healed from? We're opening up our phone lines all throughout the podcast. We want you to be brave enough to talk to us, because maybe here is where you're going to find help. And I'm going to say this because I feel like it needs to be said. Goddess, you found your way through the dishevelment of the shaky ground. You know, people crawl. They protect themselves in a moment of desperation. You could have thought about this today and never came here. And I want you to know it doesn't matter how you get here. What matters is that the process of you getting here to say, I am here. And with that being said, I want everybody to write in your box your name. You can use your tag name if that's more comfortable for you, and say, I am here. I'll start with me. Nisi, I am here. Doesn't matter how you got here. What matters is your process is that you're here. I'm here. Love it. Chef, I'm here. Yeah, you're here. Some people aren't strong enough to get here yet. What have I always said during this vibe talk? They're not here. Why? Why are they not here? Trish says, I'm here today. I like that. Why are some people not here today that have been here? What do you think, Trish? Anybody can comment.
I think it's because they're not ready.
Yeah. How many of you remember me saying that? Anybody in this room?
I do.
Yeah. They're not ready. And when you're not ready, you're not going to get up. You're not going to crawl. You're going to lie there and think about it. But now when it all starts to make sense to you, you're going to say, I need to get up. Sometimes you're broken. Sometimes I'm broken. and I refuse to be fixed. How many of you have been there? That you just refuse to be fixed. You say, leave me alone. And that's what Vibe Talk does. That's normal. Did you guys know that? You're going to get in your process and you're going to start saying, this healing not only looks like fear, but I think I'll abandon it just for a while. It starts not to make sense to you because you go back to the go back. How many of you remember me saying that? You go back to the go back and then you say, wow, what am I doing out here? No, that's not the way I want to be. So you say, I'm going to get up. I'm broken, but I'm not beyond help. How many of you think you're beyond help? Anybody here? Anybody here? I'm going to ask you another question. How many of you have had something broken physically on you? Your arm, your finger, your leg, your toes. Anybody in here had anything broken on them?
I have.
What'd you have broken on you?
If surgery counts, they broke my jaw to replace it.
Yeah. So what if they gave you no medicine for it? How would that be for you?
Very painful.
Yeah. Goddess says, I'm healing always, never broken. Ray says his foot. Ray, how did that feel for you when your foot was broken? Suppose you didn't go get the help you needed. Your foot would not heal properly. Now my next famous line is what? Because I'm going to say it. I'm not a doctor. Absolutely. How many of you remember me saying that? Every broadcast. I got away from saying that. But if you've got a broken bone, you go and fix it, right? Maybe you can't yet walk on that bone, but in order to walk on it, it's going to need some form of repair. It's the same with us, emotionally and mentally. We're coming from a broken place. Because I want to enlighten you on something, all of you, but especially am I talking to Goddess because I want you to know, when you're self-destructive, that's being broken. Self-destruction is a break of something. And I loved the way that you admitted that. Self-destruction is brokenness. What do you think, Trish?
Yeah, it's definitely brokenness. It's like when a toy is like not working. Some toys, they go wrong and they self-destruct themselves. They're broken. So yeah.
How many of you? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was saying it's like, there are different ways to self-destruct, but it's still being broken because you don't want to repair yourself.
Until you're what? Ah, yes. You answered the question, Goddess. It's a mindset. Either you're broke or you're healing. You are healing. You are on your healing journey. How many of you remember when I said some of you will get off of that healing journey I want to tell you something after you answer. Yeah. I'm destructing, or I'm learning my parts. Yeah. You're discovering something about yourself. Let me enlighten you. You've discovered that you don't want to be broken. You know, I've been there. I had a heartbreak, and someone came to try to help me. And I said, leave me alone. Did you hear that? I said, leave me alone. Do I have to get any louder in this room for you to hear those words? And what words am I talking about? There's something specific in the sentence. Do I need to make it any clearer if I said that? What words did I say? Let's go here. We're going to go some places today. I hope that you all stay. Yeah, alone. Yeah. When we say alone, we want rooms cleared. Rooms cleared. I hope, Goddess, that you will have time to stay the entire podcast, because you got here today. Vibe Talk gives you your alone time. When you say, leave me alone, what you are saying is not necessarily you aren't ready, but I'm at a standstill right now. I'm not ready to walk on this journey. For whatever reason. And so, at your request, we say, okay. Boy, I'd like to grab some people in here that have left and know darn well that they were progressing. I would like to go and get them, drive up. If you were close enough to me, I would drive to your house and knock on your door. See, I'd like to do that to the people who have said, leave me alone. Go ahead, Trish.
I was gonna say, I would like to do that as well. Like, it's in me when they leave. I'm like, no, you needed this. Where are you going? But
Yeah.
we can't. Like, it's their choice.
Yeah.
Like, they have a choice to come back, and I hope their choice is to come back and get help.
Always.
We just leave them with love and the best.
Always. And some of you have left. You've been upset. You've been angry. And I don't take it personal, because Vibe Talk is always about people coming, going, people growing. But you're not forgotten. Did you hear what I said? You're not forgotten. I remember details. And I always ask myself, I wonder what happened. Wonder how that person's doing. Because if you're not in here crawling around, you're outside crawling around. Getting rained on, stumped on, beat up, dragged through mud and dirt, rubble and stone. How many of you feel like you've been just that, beat up? Sometimes we don't want that to happen. But if it were left up to me, I would get in my car and come and get every last person See, you realize that your process of healing is to talk about things, to get in the deeper conversations of things. And when you cut that off, you know what you did? You cut off your nose to spite your face. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Hot Topics, good morning and welcome. Trish, what do you want to say to Hot Topics?
Good morning, Hot Topics. What state are you listening in from, and what are you thankful for, and why?
Yeah. Oh, what are you thankful for? Vibe Talk is talking about healing. The question of the day is, what do you need to heal from? And let me tell you something, so that you're at ease. The fact that I didn't come knocking on your door or calling you up and saying you need to get here. You're always in my heart. See, that leave me alone, thank you, Goddess, for that. That leave me alone thing means that that's personal space. I might not want to leave you alone because I can talk people into anything. So I use that the right way. But in time, and I'm not a timekeeper, I know that they're going to come back. Goddess has shown us that, and I'm so proud that you found your way back here. I'm not a guru of any sort. But what you're saying is, hey, I need to stay on this healing journey. And it's okay if some of you get off of it because you want to hear something. Imagine this. Miss Nisi gets off of her healing journey. And that means I got to have a day to get myself together. The last 2 days have been extremely physically hard on me. I've been wearing a heart monitor. I had a minor heart attack. So I've been wearing this monitor, little device to check out the heart. But I knew that I needed to get back to Vibe Talk. Vibe Talk is always help. When you talk about things, ladies and gentlemen, even though it looks like pain, it looks like anger, it looks like abandonment, it looks a lot of ways, but you're still here. You're going to get through. You're going to get through. The honesty is that you have accepted the process about yourself, the need to do what? I think Goddess has said it best here. The need to get off of self-destruction. We've all done it. What do you think about that, Trish Ray?
I've been there. Last night was a very hard night for me because I was going through something, and I just thought, like, why am I doing this? I questioned myself, like, why am I doing this healing journey? Like, is this worth it? Like, why am I falling back? Because I'm the kind of person, if I fall off of something good, I feel like, so you went there just to go back. And, like, but I got up today, and I was like, you know what? It's a new day. I can start over, So that's where I'm at now.
Yeah. And thank you for that share. Because I too felt that. last night, just last night. Sometimes I just want to just say forget it. I don't want to do vibe talk anymore. But when I thought about it, look at how many people we have helped. In fact, our latest has been over 500 and something, just in a week. And we say, well, nobody's in this room. 4 people, 1 person. But ladies and gentlemen, when we go to sleep, the other side of the world is on Facebook. That's their statistics, not mine. Why am I telling you this? Because somebody somewhere is being helped. It takes humility. When people, people don't use that word often, but I want to enlighten you on something. When people humble themselves and say, I've been here before, I'm here today, we don't turn them away. We say welcome. Because it takes a lot. We don't say, what are you doing here? We say, thank you for asking for help. When we see you, no matter what condition you are in, we say, we will reach out to you. Many of you leave because you know that the healing process is beginning and it makes you fearful of the unknown. If you've always been broken and never repaired, how's that going to feel? Now I'm going to talk to you girls for a moment. We're going to get to the guys. How many of you have ever had a broken doll or a broken Barbie? Anybody in here had a broken?
I have.
You had a broken Barbie? How long did she stay broken?
Not long, because I begged my brother to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. And what did he have to go through to fix it? I'm going to make a very valid point that maybe you can grasp. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us here on Vibe Talk. What did he have to do to fix that doll? And what was broken on her?
Her arm was broken and her leg was broken. And he had to glue the arm and the leg back on. He had to deal with me, just constantly saying, can you fix it? Can you fix it? Go ahead and fix it.
Yeah. 2 very important things. Did you guys catch it? In our co-host sentence? Who caught it? You saw process with the doll. Broken leg, broken arm, needing to be repaired. Trish got the help to repair that doll. She said, could you just fix me? How many of us really ask, could you just fix me? When was the last time you asked someone? I want to read, because I've been looking at Ray's comments while you guys are digesting what I just said. His comments were, and I apologize, Ray, distraction for a long time, but now I'm starting to rebuild and become better and stronger, plus no more negative thoughts. And he says the need to do better and heal years ago. Goddess says, I ask myself. Look at the honesty. And you're going to make me cry. Fix me. Fix me. See, That's what I'm saying. When you acknowledge the brokenness, it's okay to do that. Because somewhere, somehow, you've been broken. Why else would you say, fix me? Something needs repairing. And the fact that you do that means that you are aware. You are aware. There are people still walking around. They're not even walking, they're crawling. And there are still some who just lie there and you know what they say? Fix me. But I can't fix you until you at least crawl. You have to have the mindset to be able to crawl to the healing. You know, a baby walks or crawls, and then all of a sudden that baby, after time of practice and practice and practice, it's got to learn in the brain how they master this. You ever see their big old heads walking, trying to walk? Babies crack me up. They're trying to hold their head up and they're wobbly, ground unsteady. But they will repeat the process on a daily basis. They will fall and they will get up. And we're talking about toddlers learning to walk. That's what you've got to do. You've got to crawl. Some of you crawled in here today. And as you crawl, you start the process of saying, how do I do this? How do I do this again? And so your mind tells your heart, I want to walk. And you do that. Doesn't mean that your pain is going to go away. No. It takes work. Because whatever it is that you need repairing from, you just have to say those words. What are those words, Trish? Fix me. First, you have to tell yourself, fix me. And if you don't know how, you turn that into a question. I love that. Walked in here, chest out with belief in self. Believing in yourself. Yeah. You are the key to you helping you. I'm just the person on the sideline. I don't know if any of you knew this, but you know, oftentimes when a baby walks, mom or dad is, mom's on the other end, or whoever, grandma, anybody, there's always a team. One is at the far end and one is at the other end. I'm part of that. I stand and I cheer. And I say, come here. You fall. You say, I've fallen. I don't ever want you to say, I've fallen and I can't get up. I've fallen and I won't get up. I want you to say, I've fallen and I want to stand tall. If a baby can process the need to master to walk, you beautiful human, you have the same abilities. Babies fall, they get back up. Most resilient form of human you ever want to see. They don't just lie there. Some children learn to walk faster than others. How about that one? If you've got kids, if you're mothers or fathers, you know that well. You look at one child and you say, well, he learned to walk, or she learned to walk, or they learned to walk. And I say to you, the key is your master. You have a master key to you. And that is a key to believe in yourself. No matter what it looked like for you today. For you to come back into these doors takes strength. You say you don't have it? Well, if you've been here before and you haven't been here a while, it took strength. Maybe you weren't aware of it. Maybe you said today, I don't have any strength. And you crawled in here. I say to you, thank you for your courageousness. I want to go back to the doll scenario for a moment because I want to help you to appreciate something our co-host Trish walked us through. And she said, she bugged her brother to repair that doll. A lot of those joints to Barbie were just snap-ins. So we just put it back in place. And that's what you have to do, is find your place, because you're a human, you're more superior. Guys, I said I would get to you. You've had broken down cars, you've had toy cars that have been broken, your figurines that have been broken. You will go through miles of measurement. You will wrap that toy up. It's still some use to you, so you don't say, well, it's broken. I don't need it anymore. Stop telling yourself you're broken and you don't need it. You don't need help. Tell yourself, I'm going to get help. I'm going to trust this time to believe that I want help. The mindset and the belief in yourself that you can get better. You can be better than you were yesterday. Maybe yesterday was Wednesday, not feeling so well. You got through to get to. Now, I don't know if Vibe Talk was a passing thought to you, Goddess, and you said, I'm really thinking I'm just going to get there. Never mind the response, never mind you showed up. You understand the key word, show up. What is showing up? Trish, what do you think showing up is?
I think it's being there regardless of consequences.
Yeah! How about that? You showed up. You didn't know my reaction. You didn't know what I was going to say. Ray says you're there for the event regardless. You showed up. You didn't care one iota about what that consequence was going to be. You said, I know, Miss Nisi, because you called my name. So we've talked. It's the message, not the messenger. I definitely know who this is. I'm proud of you for doing that. I would be proud of anybody who had the guts to show up. And that's the way I've always seen you. When you ask, or when I ask, for something, we honor that. She says, been on my mind since I left, but needed time for more self-discovery and to not be so angry. Yeah. See, I can make a phone call. I got you guys' number. I can make a phone call. They say no. They require more time. Maybe it might take 2 years. Maybe a year. But they'll get back. You know, life coaches get angry too. Because you ever had a child and you're trying to feed this child and you're there and they say, I don't want to eat. I'm not hungry. And you say, but please eat this. You need to eat something. How many of you have ever done that with a child? My grandson is going through that. Not hungry. You said he didn't even eat. Trish, you were going to say something?
I was gonna say, my little brother, he does that when he was sick.
Yeah, probably frustrates your mom. Doesn't want to eat, but you say, please eat it. Our younger ones, we play choo-choo train. You know, you put the spoon in the food, and you gotta make the toy noise. I had to do that until finally win. What I'm talking about is being fed something that you know that is good for you. You know that there's truth in it. You know that it has helped you grow. I believe God has put a plant sign in a butterfly. And the only people that would know that are the people that have been intensely in this group. Now, I want you to think about something, and I want you, when you're feeling down on yourselves, to think about the courage that you displayed this day. You took that courage and you said, I'm here. We all can learn something. Trish, what do you think? Do you think, Ray, and do you think, can we learn something from this?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Power of impact. No sooner than I said those words today that I hope somebody comes in here and really impacts us. Wow. You came in like the hurricane that you are. It's in you. It's in you. And you have to take what you see and look in the mirror and hold that and say, this is me. Don't believe the lie. Doors are never closed. Doors are never closed. I even said to some of you, you're going to get mad at me. How many of you have heard that? Anybody else heard that besides Goddess?
I have.
Yeah. And how many times were you mad at me? Because you said what I just said was stupid. Made no sense. And you were mad. You got up, you fixed your coffee. I'm mad at Miss Nisi. You got up, did your exercise. Oh, I'm so mad at Miss Nisi. I'm so mad at Miss Nisi. I'm never going to listen to Vibe Talk ever again. You lied down and sleep. You woke up. I'm so mad at Miss Nisi. How did you benefit yourself? I have to wait till you get unmad. Yes, even disappointed. God says I was disappointed, not mad. But the example that I'm using is not just for you, goddess. It's for everyone that listens to this. You're going to get mad in your healing process because it looks one way when it's totally another way. And I'm mad. I get mad because you're mad. He's mad. She's mad. Even if you're mad, it's okay. We're awakened to the awareness to say, I was really, sometimes I don't get mad. I get pissed off. Nobody wants to see that. The point is that when you get unbothered by something and you say, I'm going to take this madness and I'm going to serve it with a smile today. What did I tell you guys? When you leave, Vibe Talk is still going to be here. Sometimes I was even hand feeding you. We were hand feeding you by other means, Vibe Talk Podcast. And I stopped doing that. Why did I stop doing that? Because I wanted to see what the response would be. We say what? They need to eat. Just like that child. That's where I was going. They need to eat. But you say, I'm not hungry. I don't want to do this. Whether you're disappointed, mad, you're unbothered right at this point because you're here and you came in like the thunderstorm that you are. That's what I believe about you. What about you, Trish?
I'm just very proud.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of you because I always had hope that she'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much faith in people, so I had hope that she'll come back. I didn't know when, but I was like, she's gonna come back. I just know it. And then
I knew she would.
Yeah.
I did, but I couldn't go get her.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's urgent to say, let's go pick her up, let's go get her, but like we can't.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find your own strength to come back.
Yes. And here it is here. I've always loved your honesty. They say I didn't want to be gotten. That's what I knew. That's what I knew. I knew at that point that my job was done. I knew at that point. And what does she say? There goes that word again. Left alone. Do we understand that space? I knew you had gotten to that point. There would have been nothing that I could say. I could have said, hey, I'm going to schedule your Zoom meeting. Be there. It wouldn't have done you any good because you learned what? I got to stand up. I think she's done her work for today. I mean, like she had a group. We had a group Zoom. It's when you say, I'm done sitting here, I think I can stand. I want to leave you guys with something very impactful today, as this has been powerfully, and we're going to mark this because in the year, as you know, we're going to go back, and I think this is a powerful one. We come back from 2 days of not being here, and wow. So make sure we mark this. You said some pretty powerful things here today. And I'm hoping that you guys are paying attention. It's when you want to be left alone that even coaches, if you're a psychologist, if you are a psychotherapy, you're going to hit that roadblock. Don't take that personal. It was personal to me because why? Because in this business, you really feel many conversations. You don't talk that much to people you don't care about. But in Vibe Talk, we get to know each other. And so I had to take the personal out of it because I had to remember, okay, this is not that. This is a roadblock. And that's when we say, we've got to do this. Believe me, it teaches me. And I like that better, having you said that, I needed to be left alone. You are a fire by storm. And I don't know anybody that can walk through a fire. But firemen, I knew it was a storm. And I was not going to dare walk through that fire until you said, I'm ready. I actually thought I was really going to get a phone call. But I like this, too. So I think we've learned a lot here today. I can speak for myself. Because you see, when I'm talking to you guys, I'm in training. You guys are training me. I don't know if you know that. You're training me. I am a person that cares a lot about every person that comes through Vibe Talk virtually. And once I know you, I'm going to fight to the death to get you help. That is when you ask for it. And sometimes it just looks like that. You need to be left alone. That's what you've taught me. As bad as I wanted to run out there and get you. Because sometimes you got to go through the experience. It's painful. Nobody wants somebody to hurt. Nobody wants somebody to cry. I cry when you guys cry. I'm as easiest to make cry because you've cried as I am when you contagiously laugh. That's who I am. We've learned a lot here on healing today. That people don't want to be gotten. That they're going to get there in their own time. And that when they self-discover, they can say, I want to fix me. No matter what it looks like. Maybe your arm looks like it's going to break. Your heart looks like it's been ripped out. You might look like Raggedy Ann's twin. In a very literal way. Disheveled. Disoriented. But you made a choice. And the message is loud and clear in here today. Ladies and gentlemen. We had someone that was here. They came back. And so we appreciate that they can come back. And they can be that raging storm and walk out unscathed. They can say, I've been through the fire. I've been through that. And all of that is part of healing. Lines are open. We want to thank each and every one of you in real time. Trish, thank you. My co-host, thank you so much for joining in the conversation. Ray, thank you so much for joining in. And Trish, the question of the day is what? This is where it gets great. Gets even better. What's your question of the day?
Like the ending question?
Yeah.
Oh. What have you learned or discovered about yourself today? And what was your experience like here today?
Boy. I'm going to go last because I have so much to say. And you know me. If you know me, you know me. I always have to have the last say. LOL. What's that second part, goddess? You know it too well. You're capable of anything that you put your mind to because you're a fire by storm. I always have thought that. But now, how did you feel in here? And let me ask you honestly, since we're talking about this. What you learned here is that I am welcomed. You've answered my question because I wanted to ask you, how did you feel about, were there any kind of apprehension? Like we would say, what are you doing here? Did you even think about that? I didn't think so. I told you, fire by storm. She didn't care. I love that. That's how I met you. Your personality was just like that. And that's why I always said you are a mirrored version of me. I can see me in you. That's the fire that I want you to keep burning. Every time you get an experience where someone is trying to blow out that fire, you carry a lighter and light it right back. Because that, my dear, has carried you. Fire by storm. Trish, what about yourself? What did you learn? And Ray, what did you learn?
I learned two things. The first thing I learned is courage. Courage is my armor because it doesn't cripple me. Fear does. And the second thing I learned is sometimes you just have to leave people alone and not go pick them up. Find for themselves. And my experience here today was full of joy, and it was also gut punching as well.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you know it, goddess, but you've affected people's lives. We felt some sort of way when you weren't here. Because your words are empowering. And your words are going to help somebody help themselves. Look at her. She says, I'm aware of the impact of my inspiration. Yeah. That's the fire I'm talking about. You were not meant to just lay there and be crippled. You were meant to fight. You were a born fighter. Trish, you're a born fighter. Fighters heal. They will stand in the battle lines. You have stood in the battle lines. I have stood in the battle lines. Ray, if you're standing in the battle lines, you receive those scars because you can always heal from them. Ray says healing is a process that takes time and patience. Is my shield, and I'll say experience was great as always. Thank you so much. Where can people find us, Trish?
You guys can find us on Facebook, Vibe-Talk. We have a direct connect, which is 661-503-8993. Voicemail and text message available. And we also have a YouTube channel, which is Vibe-Talk for all caps.
Yeah. And for you that don't know it, I do accept one-on-ones. And if you like a one-on-one, Gladys, you know how to contact me. We can set something up. I'm available Wednesday and Thursdays. Number's still the same. 661-503-8993. And this has been a really impactful podcast. Didn't know this was going to happen. I had my suspicions when you came here the last time, didn't I, Trish?
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah. Because I know your wording. And that's why when I said, yeah, I'm proud of you. Are we not proud of her, Trish?
Yes, we're very proud.
So this is going down in history. This is by no means someone falling off and being forgotten. This is about someone who said, I'm getting back on, which is what you said to me at the very beginning. You know, when you say, I'm on a healing journey, let it look like what it is, courage and not fear. Fighting to get healed. It's a process. Tomorrow you might wake up and you might feel, God, I feel terrible. And you might wake up tomorrow and say, I really hate Miss Nisi. I don't know why I did that. She makes me so mad. But I want you to drink your coffee, and I want you to keep saying that, because you will talk yourself out of that if you've ever felt that. It's okay to be disappointed. We all get disappointed. We have feelings here, right? All of us. You've said some pretty good things, and before we close today, I want you guys to pay attention to what she said. I'm aware of the impact of my inspiration. And when we asked her about the reaction, was she concerned about the reaction? She said she didn't care about that. She felt welcome. She's capable of anything. Remind yourself, if you're still working on your U-jar, you need, and I say this with love, to put some of these, if not most of these, in your U-jar. To remind yourself of who you really are. Because we listen to lies, ladies and gentlemen. We listen to all the garbage about ourselves. We're no good. We get with people who treat us like we're no good. And we're filtering through all the bad stuff, all the yuck. But we have to grab out of the yuck who you really are. You know, a diamond, I don't know if you guys have a diamond, if you own a diamond. You know, it doesn't look like that at first. Did you guys know that? A diamond is not a diamond. And there's a reason why they call it a diamond in the rough, because that diamond has to go through a process, a fiery process. Sometimes over and over again until it becomes that shiny jewelry that we all like. That's who you are. Each and every one of you. Blaine Roberson, good morning and welcome. What do you want to ask, Blaine?
Good morning, Blaine. What state are you listening in from? And what are you thankful for and why?
Yeah. This is Vibe Talk, and we talk about feelings. We're all in our feelings. Today is Think About Thursday. What are you thankful for? And the question that my co-host asked you was, what state are you listening in from, please? We are now Texas. Thank you so much. If you've missed any of this recording, we are live on Facebook. We record every podcast unless we have technical difficulty. So if you want to get encouraged, empowered, impacted today, go listen to Think About Thursday. It'll be posted as soon as we shut this off, get off air. I want to say a special thank you to Trish. A special thank you to, you're going to make me cry. Don't do it. Goddess, you've taught me something today. Thank you for showing up. Thank you. I want to thank Ray, you especially. Trish is my co-host, our co-host. Goddess says, thank you, Trish, for holding it down. Yeah. Okay. And so, I just want to thank you guys. Trish, did you hear what Goddess said?
Yes, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Because, you know, somebody's got to hold it down when I'm not here. You know? That's what this is all about. We're going to get frustrated. We're going to get disappointed. We're going to say stuff we didn't even mean. And we ask ourselves, why the heck did I say that? Vibe Talk is here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. This process is a healing process. You're going to like some podcasts better than you like others. You're going to remember forever how you've impacted, how you've been helped, how you're going to help others to help themselves. You've all have been very instrumental. Ray, you're talking a lot more. I so appreciate your being open and honest, because you're going to benefit yourself. This is Think About Thursday, and boy, do I have things to think about. Goddess, you have my number. You got my personal number and Vibe Talk line. And when you're ready to do a Zoom one-on-one, let's just take it up from there and just restart. I'll be calling you today. Yeah, because I've looked across your number and I say, I'm going to call. Nope, I'm going to leave her alone. I'm fighting with myself. But I think you said something very poignant, that you didn't want to be gotten. And I know what that feels like, honey. I know what it feels like. That you just say, leave me alone. Let me just sit here. And if nobody is disappointed in me, I'm not doing my job. If everybody's happy with me and just everything is gung-ho, something is wrong. That's how you know I'm not a guru. Because I might say something and you say, well, wait a minute, Miss Nisi, I don't agree with that. Staying golden. Welcome, welcome. And so we welcome you with open arms and love and light. Staying golden. Trish, what do you want to say? Just staying golden.
Good morning. What state are you listening in from? And what are you thankful for and why?
Our topic today was on healing. Oklahoma. Thank you. So glad to have you. If you missed this podcast, you can go listen to it as soon as we get off air. We're so thankful for any and all who reach out. Vibe Talk is live each and every weekday. And we have YouTube channels. By the way, Goddess, go check out the YouTube. I think you'll have something to say. I want to hear. That's your homework assignment, Goddess. Our YouTube channel, the videos, they are on fire. You'll see what I'm talking about. Oh, okay. What is he saying, Trish?
He said, I'm thankful for my lovely girlfriend.
Nice. Any comments, Trish? Any concluding comments? Anybody?
I enjoyed the live today. Today was that kind of live that made me feel inspired and happy and encouraged. And we had a lot of states in here today. We had Oklahoma, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Southern California, Palmdale, California, and South Carolina. And country, we had the Philippines.
Yeah. How about that? Thank you so much. I also want to say thank you to let me get her name right, because you guys know how I mess up names. I need to get her name. I had her here. Ember Cove. Ember, thank you. Thank you for liking Vibe Talk. They're finding and following us. Much love to all of you. Today has inspired me. So you make sure, guys, that you reach out to me. Okay, numbers are the same. They're the same. Text me. I'm going to wait to see what you all do. We're Vibe Talk. Thank you. I wish you to think about not only this Thursday, but the one that's coming up. all next week, we're going to be into the feelings book again. Trish, do you still have the link for that? Because I'd like for Goddess to start reading that and catching up. It's online. I think I bet you do. Yeah, she knows where it is. Yeah. Such a good book. That book I was recommending when we first started it. I know you have been. But we're going to be talking about that book next week. We're trying to do it consecutively, but not running back to back weeks because it gets kind of monotonous for us. And I want to keep Live Talk exciting, but we're going to get through that book. We listen to the audio and we talk about it. So, just excellent reading. Excellent reading. Learned a lot. Boy, this was a good Vibe Talk today. For those of you who are coming, please, if we're not live, you can interact. If you have missed Vibe Talk in its entirety, please go to Facebook. I'm live there. And share these podcasts. You're helping others. I don't care anything about this going viral or not. I care about it reaching the hands and the hearts of people who really want to be healed. I learned so much. Very heartwarming. Very heartwarming. Thank you. I will be waiting for you. Goddess. Anytime. Take your time whenever you need to. You know how to get in touch with me. Let's redo this, and gosh, we just look forward to seeing you like a storm. Thank you, everybody. And with that being said, I wish you to think on this Thursday. Thank you, Trish, for that. We're going to close with the outro. And thanks to Trish for the outros and the intros. Have a good day, everybody. Think about Thursday. Love you too. Love you too, baby. No love lost at all. I just knew you needed to be left for a moment. Alright, guys. I'm out of here. Looking forward to our one-on-one, Goddess. Trish, thank you. Have a good day, everybody.